Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome into game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Kings on the back-to-back. They'll take on the Suns tonight in another critical Western Conference game. Of course, Sacramento laying an egg last night in Golden State. Another blowout for the Kings coming off that blowout at home. They get wiped off the floor in San Francisco, 130-104, a game in which they got down early, never took a lead in this game. They did get to within 4 in the third quarter, kind of made it interesting. But, Henry, all we really needed to know was Charles Barkley at halftime guaranteed a Kings win, and that's why they went down by 26.
Maybe that was the problem, man, because Chuck bad luck, dog. Chuck should have worn number 13, because whenever Chuck guarantees something, it don't ever happen.
No doubt. And that game was played on the 13th. It wasn't a Friday the 13th, but it was the 13th. So, but yeah, disappointing effort by the Kings. And, it was the same feeling we had when the Warriors came here. That first game after the All-Star break, Kings, Warriors, everybody hyped up. We're at Tom's Watch Bar.
Right.
Place is jacked. We're all ready to go. And then it was just a steamroll job by the Warriors here in Sacramento. It was the same thing last night. It felt like we were watching the same game.
It did, and the Golden State Warriors are playing good basketball.
Yeah, they are.
And the way I watched them play, it's more so the others that's starting to kick in and play better basketball. You looked at the numbers. Jimmy Buckets only had 6 points. He didn't do anything out there on the floor.
No.
I mean, okay, you could say he helped facilitate it,
sure.
Right?
Yes.
He made the right pass. But as far as the overall production, it was the other guys.
Yeah.
It was the GP2s. It was the Moody's. It was the Buddy Hields. Those guys just came out and just showed up and showed out. Steph didn't have a big night.
Not at all.
Doug's defensive game really worked because they cut the head off the snake, but for some reason, the snake was poisonous in other places. Other guys stepped up and beat the Kings.
No doubt. Now, I know what you mean. Steph didn't have a big night, but he did have a big night. That 4,000th three-point shot.
Yeah.
Was legendary, historic, whatever you want to call it. The first time we've ever seen it.
Yeah, that second three-pointer that he made, because he only made 2.
Right.
The second three-pointer he made, was huge in a historical type situation, but it was just another shot in that game because, Steph didn't have a Steph-type night.
No. But because they were so focused on him and playing that defense where they're fronting him, double-teaming him, to the Warriors' credit, every time they got a 4-on-3, they took advantage of it.
They took advantage of it, Scott, but we understand Steph is the onus, but you can't let guys like Buddy Hield have open three-pointers. Draymond Green came out and he hit his 2 first three-point shots. Well, the next time Draymond Green touched that ball, he wasn't going to be standing at that line by himself.
Right.
Somebody had to rotate over to him and be like, okay, Draymond, you didn't knock 2 down. I'm rotating to you. Maybe this other guy might not make a three-point shot. Let's see if he can make one. But we're going to double Steph still. He's number 1.
Yep.
You've been hot. You showed that you can knock it down. We're going to rotate over to you. Let's see what GP2 do with this ball.
Yeah, no doubt. Draymond got them started, and then it just steamrolled from there.
It snowballed for sure.
It did. And then, just looking at the box score, literally – you could just take Golden State off of it, put New York on there, or vice versa. I mean, it was a 29-point game on Monday, 133-104. Last night, 130-104. The Knicks had 22 three-pointers in that game on Monday night. Golden State had 22 three-pointers. The Knicks shot 40 on Monday night. Golden State shot 39 last night.
The numbers looked the same, Scott, but the games were totally different.
Oh, sure. Games were different. Box scores.
The game was totally different. The New York Knicks did whatever they wanted from the 2 all the way out to the 3. New York didn't, elect to just settle for threes. They got to the basket, score.
Oh, sure. True.
And then on the defensive side, right? See, the Golden State Warriors didn't put up no Herculean effort on the defensive side. The Kings still got whatever they wanted. against New York, it was totally different. Their guards were picking up full court. The big men were meeting their men at half court.
Yeah.
So defensively, they really set the tone.
They did. There's no doubt about it, although the numbers are strikingly similar, with it being totally dissimilar games. And obviously the Warriors got a lot more bench points than New York got on Monday night as well. But to the point, Draymond had a season high 23 in the game. He's active and alive. So even though Jimmy buckets, 6.7 assists, 5 rebounds, didn't do a lot, you can tell that Draymond Green, this is the most energized and active I've seen him in a long time.
I said that at the beginning of the game. I said, tip your hat to Draymond, because he's definitely has wound back the clock.
Yes, he has.
He's playing good basketball. He was the one that really set the tone. But like I said, it's still too, Scott, it's the others that came off big.
Kuminga, his first game back, had 18 in 20 minutes.
Right. Buddy Hield.
Buddy had 16 off the bench.
Right.
4 threes.
GP2.
Yep.
The other big fella, I keep forgetting his name.
Post.
Post knocking down shots.
Yeah.
It's just
Santos
coming off screens, knocking down shots. They got guys who can score, and I think right now they're playing some of their best ball. Steve Kerr is doing exactly what any coach wants his team to do. Understanding that they started off hot, and then all of a sudden they struggle midway through, but now it seems like they're generating that heat back, and they're going to be hot at the end of the year, to where if they make the playoffs, and if they get there, they're playing some of their best ball.
Yeah, for sure. This team's 13-1 with Jimmy buckets on this team. They're on a major heater right now, and they are definitely a threat to be in the playoffs as things stand right now. 63 bench points for the Warriors last night. It went their way.
How many?
63.
Woo! Kings had what, 20?
Kings had no, they were much better off the bench last night. They had 49 bench points.
Okay, 49.
Yeah, because Keon had a big game. LaRavia was good. Trey Lyles was good off the bench.
But you still lose by 20-something on the bench.
Yeah, no,
not even counting your starters, and we understand Zach LaVine goes for under his average. Debo, under his average. Keegan, under his average. That's where you hurt at right there.
Yeah, again, Zach taking a lot of criticism today, not for just the 14 points, but only putting up 6 shots.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. I like Zach. I like Zach's game. But when you look at the overall scheme for the Sacramento Kings, there's no way. And I'm not just pointing the finger at Zach. I did the same thing with Harrison Barnes. Whenever Harrison Barnes would come out and play 30-something minutes and shoot the ball 3 to 6 times, it's unexcusable, because you're such a pivotal part of this offense. You cannot afford to just shoot 6 times.
No, it's not enough at all. For Monk, even though he was 3 of 13, you can at least, he was aggressive last night.
He gives himself a chance.
Right.
I'd much rather see you go 1 for 20 than to see you go 4 for 4.
No doubt. And even Keegan put up 10 shots last night. It didn't go for him either. But Keegan's been a little bit more aggressive late. And obviously the defensive assignments he had last night, as tough as he could have all year long.
Yeah, I understand, what Keegan is going through. The one thing that always gets me when you have players like Steph and, maybe, a guy like KD, or maybe even the Book, to where they're so dominant on the offensive end that their teams kind of hide them on the defensive side. If I'm Sacramento, what you have to do against Steph defensively, right?
Yep.
But how about make Steph work on the defensive end?
Yes.
You run some plays to get Steph in pick and rolls, get Steph in some foul trouble. If you let Steph just hide on the defensive side on a guy that's just a stretch forward that stands in the corner waiting for somebody to drive,
right,
you play right into Golden State hands.
Yeah. No, you've got to make him play defense for sure.
Right.
The Warriors, again, they're one of the best offensive teams of all time. We understand that. They're not the same team they were in 2015, but the Warriors were a good defensive team back there too. And they're becoming a good defensive team again.
And they used to hide him back then.
Mm-hmm.
But, I brought this up with the Drive guys. The year that Cleveland beat Golden State, They let Kyrie Irving run pick and roll until they got to Steph.
Yeah.
Made Steph switch out on him, and they cooked him.
Yeah.
And when Steph was trying to guard J.R. Smith, they threw the ball to J.R. Smith, and he cooked Steph. You have to make him work. Don't let him just rest all the time on the defensive side.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so the Kings have lost 3 straight now, 3 crushing games in different ways, and they've got to let that all go tonight to take on the Phoenix Suns. Of course, a Phoenix team that is struggling mightily. They're somehow holding on to a play-in hope. That is vanishing for them as well. The reason they're holding on to it is because the Mavs are sliding. Obviously, the Kings are giving them a little space to get back in this one. Phoenix is just 30-36, and this is a big one tonight.
It is, Scooter. And I would say more so for Sacramento than it is for Phoenix.
I think so, too.
Because Dallas is right there. You know, if the Kings sneeze hard, they might get a little something on Dallas if they turn their head to the right. Dallas is right behind. They have to be able to get some more separation if they want to still say, okay, we're in the play-in. We're going to be here for sure.
Yeah, right now, the way things feel, I mean, with 17 games to go, it can still change. But they're 2 games back in the loss column of the Clips, but really, all intents and purposes, 3 because LA has all the tiebreakers. Of course, against the Mavs, they do have the tiebreakers there. That's the good news. So they're 3 games up on Dallas. Phoenix tonight, this one will go a long way. And this one, at least getting into the top 10, but that's just the bottom of the barrel for the Kings.
I mean, that's at the very least. So if something happens to where, okay, we'd have lost, another 2-3 games, now you're looking at, we out.
Exactly. You could be on the outside looking into that play-in, which would be devastation for this year's Kings team. All right, game night's underway. We're coming to you live from the Sactown studios. Kings and Phoenix, second night of the back-to-back. We'd love to hear from you, 916-339-1140. If you're out there on a Friday afternoon, we know the weather, it's raining. Take your time. We've got you covered until 6:30 today. Get you ready for Kings Live pregame. 7 o'clock tip. The interesting thing about it, I had in my mind we were going to be on an hour earlier, but of course with daylight savings times, it does not change in Arizona. So we're on the same time now as they are in Phoenix.
Okay.
It's not an hour ahead of us anymore. Same time.
All right.
7 o'clock there, 7 o'clock here. We've all got that lined up for you. G-Man with the call. Game night is always being brought to you by our good friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbfstockton.com. More game night right here. Sactown Sports, 1140.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another 3-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, it's Ram Truck Month. The sales event's going on right now, and I know that means heavy discounts.
It's not just a discount, it's big discounts on hard-to-find Ram heavy duties. Right now, save up to $16,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2024 Ram 2500 and 3500 heavy duties. When you need a hard-to-find truck, Hoblet has it, with over 500 new Rams available.
Just one of the many reasons Hoblet always ranks as one of the biggest and best Ram dealers in all of America.
And we are proud of that. But we don't just sell Rams. You have to check out the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with 200 vehicles available and 30 under $20,000.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,000 total net savings after 71.29 factory rebates and 88.71 dealer discounts. Rebates include 500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders and 66.29 West BC standalone 10% below MSRP. 5 vehicles at this net savings. Sample VIN 316786. Not everyone will qualify for all rebates. See dealer for details.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Paul Mitchell, The School, Sacramento, and Stoney's Rockin' Rodeo. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
It's your lucky day. During the month of March, Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics are saving you some green by offering $250 off braces or Invisalign. To schedule a consultation, go to kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, where you'll find a location near you.
Spring is in the air, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping for new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has a selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Welcome back to the game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall up with the high flyer, Henry Turner. You know, we're talking Kings, NBA hoops, but March Madness is here, and this is awesome. I can't wait for the next few weeks, of course. We've got all the conference tournament games up here, and it starts for real next week.
Oh, yeah.
NC2A tournament.
Oh, yeah. That's where all the fluff is knocked out.
No doubt. Next Thursday, you'll have your brackets ready all day long, Thursday, Friday, waiting for those super upsets, the buzzer beaters, March Madness.
Yeah, a lot of people will be sick after that first week.
No doubt.
That bracket go on the slant, they be like, oh.
Yeah, or as we call it, Marsh Madness.
Okay, Scotty. My bad. We know you hold down on the bracket, bro.
I did win one year.
Yeah.
So we'll say that. Okay, let's get Kings and Phoenix. It's the third matchup of the year. These guys will match up final game of the season as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the great news for the Kings, okay, if you win today,
right,
you will be up 3-0. You will have all tiebreakers against the Suns, and you can put the proverbial just knife in the heart of the Suns tonight in terms, I think tonight, you know, if the Kings lose, I still think they will hold off Phoenix. But if you win tonight,
right,
there's no chance Phoenix is catching you.
Right. You
set the bottom basement. I mean, you really can't go below 10.
If you win tonight, you pretty much put a dagger in Phoenix's heart.
Yes.
But then again, you also take another step on the Dallas Mavericks, who's the next one closest to catch up to you.
Sure. No doubt about it. You've got the Mavs in that 10 spot, Kings in the 9, Phoenix at the 11 spot, 30 and 36. So a huge game tonight for the Kings is, again, we just try to set the bottom of it, because at the very minimum, you want the Kings in the play-in situation.
For sure. You know, I wanted them to be in the 6th spot, but, you know, that was me saying, okay, if everything goes right, but understanding that it don't always happen that way. So now the Kings situation of you can still get to where you have to get to through the play-in.
Yes.
That's what it's for. It's that last-ditch effort for teams who have struggled, for teams who have had injury-prone seasons, to where they can get it together at the end and still be able to make a run.
Yeah, and with that loss last night, it's not impossible, but certainly a lot less likely.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it a lot tougher. I will say that.
No doubt. The Warriors are 4 games up in the loss column now, 4.5 overall. The season series is tied, so it would go to some other tiebreakers. In that case, you'd have to kind of look at the scenarios there. But the way the Warriors are playing right now, it's hard to conceive that the Kings are going to make up 4, maybe 5 games on them.
I mean, we only got 17 games left.
Right.
So to make up 5 games, Scott, whoo, you would probably have to run all 17 and then hope Golden State Warriors hit a losing streak.
Well, let's just put it this way. Let's say the Warriors finish 500. They've got 16 left, so that would give them 46. They'd be 46 and 36. That means the Kings would have to win a minimum of 13 of 17 and maybe 14 based on what the tiebreaker.
That's what I'm saying. You almost have to go yard.
I'm just backing up your point.
And we all know that we got Cleveland coming. We got Boston coming. We got Milwaukee coming. We got OKC coming.
Yeah. You forgot the Celtics.
Ooh, I said Boston.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Boston's coming. Absolutely. You mentioned Milwaukee, of course. This schedule is daunting. Absolutely. Memphis on Monday. The Bulls, who are playing much better, their first 4-game win streak. They're in the same spot as the Kings. They're in the 10th spot in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, that looks a little different than it does in the Western Conference right now. But that's where they're at. They would be in a play. And so to put it in perspective, the Bulls are 28 and 38, and they're in the 10th spot.
Right.
And they're 5 games up on 11th place, which is the Raptors.
Yeah, that just goes to show the disparity that goes on between East and West.
Yeah, if you were the Kings at 33 and 32, you'd be fighting for the 7th spot right now. You would be in the 7th spot ahead of the Hawks right now, and you would be back of the Pistons, who are 37 and 30.
Wow, in pretty good shape.
Yes, you'd be in good shape. At least you'd only have to win 1 of 2 games to get into the playoffs as things stood right there. All right, if you want to join the show, 916-339-1140. We're up and running in our YouTube chat as well. Feel free to comment there as well. We'll take your comments. You can text us as well, 1-800-920-1140. We've got you covered here. Game night being brought to you by the law firm of Gingery Hammer and Associates. If you're over an injury, just call Gingery. All right, how do the Kings get out of this funk? The number one thing would be if they could get Sabonis back. He didn't play last night. He's still questionable for tonight. We do not have a game time decision yet on Sabonis.
Yes, Sabonis definitely will help. You know, he will help in many ways. He will help on the defensive side. He will help rebounding the basketball. He will help facilitating the offense. So they miss Demonis big time.
No question about that. It's too bad because the Kings were playing pretty good ball right before Sabonis got hurt.
They were.
And Malik, for that matter, too.
And, you know, and I actually thought that they were finding their way.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, okay, you know, everything isn't roses, but they still are managing to play decent basketball.
No doubt. I would think if Sabonis doesn't go tonight, he'd be ready to go on Monday. We will see. I mean, the good news is he worked out Wednesday and seemed to be fine after, you know, going full court 5-on-5.
But was he? That's the question I have.
Right. We don't know that for sure.
Because, you know, he practiced. He went 5-on-5. They said everything looked good. He was moving. But all of a sudden, because we thought he was going to play last game.
Right.
And it was like, no, he's not going.
Yeah.
I honestly thought something happened, whether it tightened up later on that day or, you know, he felt another little tweak. I thought something had to happen for them to say, no, we still got to sit you.
Well, we'll know soon enough about tonight. So, and, you know, what was interesting, again, going back to that Sabonis injury, it's like he was holding that the game prior in Utah, right? Before running out of Houston. And he was done right in that first quarter, right away.
You know, I didn't see him do it in Utah, but I heard he did.
He did, yeah.
So, you know, it was one of those things to where it was there. And then when he tried to go against Houston, it just really stretched out. But, you know, I'm looking at it right now. If Sabonis has to sit another night, is that going to be a situation to where it's just killing you in the standings?
Yes, every game is killing you in the standings. But the bottom line is the hammy's the one thing you can't push.
Because I look at it like this. We're playing Phoenix. Phoenix is not playing great basketball. I honestly think that the Kings, as they are constructed right now, without Sabonis, can go in here and win this game. But if you bring Sabonis back, right, and he gets another little tweak, well, this 7-game homestand that we have without Sabonis is going to be asinine.
Yeah,
so I would say let him rest one more game against Phoenix and get him ready for this long haul that's going to be at the homestand.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's sneak in a phone call before we go to the break. Grant, welcome into Game Night. How are you, my friend?
I am great. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic. What's going on?
Say today. I was just wondering what your guys' opinion is when Sabonis does get healthy of the Twin Towers kind of rotation that they played a couple times. I've seen it this year, and it seemed to work out pretty well. Just want to see what your guys' opinion of.
Yeah, no, thanks for the call, Grant. I know you're a big proponent of it, High Flyer.
We've had that conversation a couple of times about Sabonis and Valanciunas on the floor together. I'm not opposed to it. I think it could work, but it's going to have to be the right team you're playing. If you run up against a team like Minnesota, I think it will work fine. You run up against a team like Denver when Aaron Gordon comes back, I think it works fine. But when you play teams like Phoenix, you play teams like Golden State, to where they play small ball. We saw what happened with Valanciunas just with Golden State. He couldn't even be on the floor out there, and Sabonis wasn't playing.
No, and obviously they started Valanciunas last night. It wasn't a good matchup.
It just didn't work. And no shade on Valanciunas because he's a true big man. They put him at a disadvantage, which was very smart by Steve Kerr.
Sure.
Right? But at the end of the day, he can't be on the floor. So you wouldn't get that sentiment of Twin Towers against Golden State. It's not going to work.
No doubt. In that situation, I mean, one of the things maybe you can only do is play a zone, right? And have Valanciunas at least around the basket.
Scooter, and let me correct myself.
Yeah.
You can play Twin Towers against Golden State, but it's going to have to be a situation to where you're going to really have to make that high-low at your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to utilize it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go to Sabonis at the high post. He's going to have to go to JV down low, and he's going to have to punish Golden State. Because if you don't do that, Golden State is going to punish you on the other end, but they're going to pull both of those guys out at the three-point line, and it's going to be no rim protection.
No doubt. And you can't turn over the basketball either because it's going the other way. And the Warriors, to their credit, they've cut down their turnovers significantly.
Yeah, they took care of the basketball.
Yeah.
That plays a big part. The Kings turn the basketball over at a heavy rate. When you let Golden State get those fast break points, get those easy in the paint points, you put yourself at a deficit.
You did. All right, we got to go to the break. When we come back, we'll go around the league. The Lakers losing their third straight last night. They have a back-to-back in Denver today. No Luka. He's not playing.
And no LeBron.
No LeBron and many others, too. We'll run down that list tonight in Denver as the Lakers are coming back in the pack a little bit after that incredible run that they were on. We'll get you caught up on all the other games going on as well. The Thunder, they clinched their playoff spot earlier this week with their win in Boston. They continue to pace the Western Conference. It's game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140. We're coming to you live from the Sactown studios here. Scott Marsh along with the High Flyer. Game night is always being brought to you by our good friends at Power Business Technology. Experience for yourself how the power of family can help you with all your business equipment needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. More of Game Night, Sactown Sports 1140.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief. The best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary. Not guaranteed.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports, 1140.
It is a Friday night right here in Sactown. Scott Marshall up the high flyer, Henry Turner. It is game night as well. Kings and Suns in Phoenix. I don't know. That song got me going for some reason. I don't know why.
Probably because you got paid, bro. It's payday.
Not this week.
I was about to say, I didn't get mine, so I'm not hyped like that. But you know what?
You.
Hey, I'm loving the weekend, though.
I am too. You know, we've got March Madness. We've got Kings. You know, the other thing that we've got going on in our capital city, we have the state high school championship.
Yeah, right.
How about Jesuit? Jesuit's in the state final.
Nice. A lot of my friends down in the Bay Area was like, yo, high school basketball is up your way. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, how sweet is that? What a run for the Marauders, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. Hopefully they will get that done tomorrow. I believe they play at 4:00 in the afternoon tomorrow. So how cool is that?
All of that's going down to G1, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Might have to sneak out there tomorrow afternoon. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, Kings and Suns. We'll break that down in our next segment. Let's go around the league. We were talking about the Lakers a little bit. Right now, the Lakers have a Mavs-like roster for their game in Denver tonight. As they go in, they've lost 3 straight. So Luka is out. And here's the interesting thing. It's still his calf that's still bothering him. So he's not playing back-to-backs. Little ankle still in the mix as well. We know LeBron's out. No Roy Hachimura. Jackson Hayes is out along with Hachimura. Austin Reeves is banged up in this one. So it's going to be Bronny with some playing time tonight, feels like.
Yeah, and I kind of like the way you went there, like a Mavs-type roster. I like that.
Well, speaking of the Mavs, they just lost Prosper for the entire season now. I mean, so you just can't make up what's going on to the Mavs at the moment.
I mean, you can't even write a worse script than what's happening down there with Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks. That's just tough, man. My God.
Yeah. So he's done. AD, of course, still waiting to see what happens. Yeah.
He ain't coming back.
I don't think so either.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. Lively, Gafford, PJ Washington, Kyrie. The list goes on and on and on. So, yeah.
I mean, we haven't even gotten word about what's happening with Kyrie. You know, has he had surgery? Is everything done? How did it go? I mean, everything's been hush-hush.
True. Now, he did push back because, you know, as we talked about last week, there was some media stuff swirling, you know, okay, was Kyrie hurt because he was playing too many minutes? He started playing more minutes after AD went down. And did they rush AD out there after being traded because they were getting hammered with Luka? Did they push him too quick? Did that cause AD to get hurt? And then did that cause Kyrie to get hurt? And Kyrie's like, man, just shut up about that. That is ridiculous. You know, as we saw in the play, he stepped on JV's ankle first with the other leg and then took a bad step with the left.
Right.
And that's what he was saying. He's like, it had nothing to do with my minutes whatsoever. Don't even try to put that on Jason Kidd or the organization. And I appreciate Kyrie saying that.
Right. I mean, it's just a basketball play. Yeah. But I'm just saying, we haven't heard anything about his prognosis or anything about it. Nothing.
No. But we know, I mean, well, we don't know, but assuming, I mean, that's a minimum 6 to 9 month return. He's probably not going to be starting the year next year.
You never know.
You never know.
Hey, but what I'm saying is that, how did surgery go?
Sure, there's lots of things.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, what is he doing now? Is he just resting? Is he doing any type of rehab? We heard nothing about Kyrie.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is absolutely true. All right, some other things around the league. Of course, the big thing, we touched on it already, but Steph Curry getting to the 4,000 milestone. And you know what? I mean, I know it happened against the Kings. We don't like that, but just like when Klay Thompson had that 37-point fourth quarter, didn't like that a lot either, but it was NBA history. And, you know, those are players who I find myself rooting for, not necessarily to beat the Kings, of course, but I root for them because I like both of them so much.
For one thing, Scott, overall good guys.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
And I've always said this, you know, for what Steph has done for basketball and the NBA, one of the best.
Yep.
One of the best. So you always root for guys like that. And then, you know, he really revolutionized the game.
Yep.
He changed the game. You have to take your hat off for him for that. And then for him to be able to set this type of record, 4,000 3-point shots.
Yep.
And you think about, okay, can that be reduplicated or can that be broken? You're going to have to be a guy who can shoot the piss out the ball, right?
Yeah.
And then have the longevity of a Steph Curry. So you really got to come big time on both of those ends.
Well, here's the other thing. I mean, is Steph going to get to 5,000? It took him about 3 because he broke the record. He got the 29.74, I want to say, in New York in the Garden.
Yeah,
back in 21
from Ray Allen, right?
Yes. So he's over 1,000 more in that 25. So that's roughly 3+ years. He's going to play at least 2 more. He says he wants to outplay his contract, which means he wants to play more than 2 years. I mean, he's going to end up, if not at 5, close to it.
He's going to be close.
Yeah.
He's going to be really, really close because, you know, the dude is still shooting the ball just as well as he did in his prime.
Absolutely. Best in the league.
And I mean,
oh, and yes, Ramsey just said, I don't think he was on the air and said that, but today is his 37th birthday.
Oh, so he got another year. Oh, he over the hill now. He's going downhill now.
He's a pup right now.
No, he's going downhill.
He's not even close to 40.
I'm just saying, is he out of his prime?
No, I don't think so. Do you?
I'm just saying, I can't say he is.
No.
You know, his numbers are still there when he wants them.
Exactly. I mean, would you say LeBron is out of his prime?
Yeah, LB out of his prime.
Okay.
LB is still playing good basketball.
He's playing like he's in his prime.
But he ain't Miami Heat LB.
No. But I mean, LeBron is still, when healthy, he's one of the top 10 players in the game.
I'll tell you what, these guys, the reason why they still play at a big time rate, Scott, is number one, basketball IQ. You know, LeBron knows when to pick, when to pull. He knows all of those things. Athletically and physically, LeBron still gets it done. But when he was in Miami, bro, he was just a freak. Yeah. There was nothing you can do with him.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. But I mean, still, they're playing at.
He still get. Oh yeah, both of them still get the job done.
They're still playing it at
no doubt
level. There's no question on that one. All right, game night's being brought to you by our good friends at Howard Gumbo. I can't wait to get out there. I'm going to go out there next weekend.
Good.
That's set up.
Good.
And have some dinner out there next week. Hopefully, I can get out there beforehand. It's so close to the station.
Oh yeah, I was just there yesterday.
Were you really? What'd you have?
Catfish, bro.
Okay.
I told you.
All right. The
That's
high flyer
my staple.
catfish. We got to get a menu item
exactly
on there for you.
Catfish and
the
fries.
High flyer catfish and fries.
Something.
We're going to bring that up.
Oh, yeah. I had the red beans and rice, too.
I love it. I love it. All right. Open today till 8 o'clock. The Thursdays and Fridays, 11 to 8. Saturday and Sundays, 2 to 8. Located 2120 Marconi Avenue. Your place to get gumbo here in Sacramento. All right. Let's look around the league. You've got the Celtics and the Heat. Boston up 96-86. Kevin Durant, we were talking if he'd be in Phoenix next year or not. We'll get into it our next segment. Some people think maybe it's South Beach where he could have a landing. Obviously, the Heat moved Jimmy Buckets. They got rid of that monster contract. Maybe they could take on Kevin Durant's contract.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's contract is definitely a monster.
Yeah.
He getting paid. So wherever he goes, they're going to have to clear a lot of cap space.
They are. All right. Pacers leading the Sixers 102-91. You've got the Clips and the Hawks. Of course, that's a big game for Kings followers here. Clips leading 73-67. You've got the Rockets over the Mavs 62-49. The Cavs just continue to win. They're going for their 56th win of the season. They're 55-10, taking on and just beating up on the Grizz right now, 76-58. Of course, the Grizz will be here on Monday night, and the Cavs will be here Wednesday night.
Oh, that's great.
So there's your Kings back-to-back after this one.
So that's why this game here tonight.
You got to win this game.
It's big time.
You got to win it.
Because that 7-game home stretch, Scott, is going to be tough for the Kings.
It is. All right, T-Wolves leading the Magic 62-58. You've got the Hornets all over the Spurs 81-55 again. De'Aaron Fox, if you didn't hear the news yesterday, he is shutting it down. He's going to have surgery on that injured pinky on his shooting hand. He'll have that in LA next week. You've got Lakers and Nuggets. And as we just told you, the Lakers have nobody to play in that game tonight. So that'll be one of those back-to-back specials in Denver. As the Lakers are 40-24, they could fall out of a top 4 based on what Houston does and maybe have to go on the road for the first round. I don't think it's a big deal to the Lakers.
I don't think so either. At the end of the day, those teams know that they have to go through certain basketball clubs. And when you have a LeBron, you have a Luka, you be willing to put your team up against anybody. You're not even worried about it.
Not at all. All right, Raptors and Jazz, and of course, finishing it out, you've got Kings and Suns. That's what we're going to focus in on when we come back here. It's game night. Sactown Sports 1140.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
When you partner with CDW, your people get more out of technology. CDW AI architects deliver Microsoft services to automate tasks and boost productivity, helping sales reps connect with more customers. Remote teams collaborate seamlessly, and small businesses compete at scale. That's amazing. Make amazing happen. Microsoft and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/modernwork.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
There's no better time than now to get yourself into a brand new Jeep because it's Jeep Adventure Days at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, offering the best deals in town and a selection other dealers are jealous of. Stop on by. They're just off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
In the Shag Bag, the renovation of Poppy Ridge Golf Course in Livermore, California continues on schedule for a reopening this year. Architect Jay Blasey's design assures a golf course we can look forward to playing a few months down the road. Check poppyridgegolf.ncga.org for updates. And Rod Metzler, PGA with Coursco, reports that the Campus Commons golf course continues to grow in after a complete redesign and is also scheduled to reopen in the next couple of months. I'm hearing a lot of talk about the nighttime crowd at the Hagen Oaks driving range with their Top Tracer technology. You'll find accomplished players alongside newbies searching for that first center of the club face experience that brings them back for more. The order of the evening is fun, so it might be worth a look. National Golf Foundation reports 45 million Americans over the age of 6 played golf both on course and off course in 2023. When can we count you on that list? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Get ready for your chance to win $1 million by entering Sactown Sports Bracket Challenge on Sunday, March 16th. Brought to you by Xfinity. Stream live sports from the best seat in the house.
Hey, Daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
Mom, when can I go back to the dentist?
We were just there a few weeks ago.
At Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, they provide anxiety-free dental care from first tooth through teens to ensure your child's dental health journey is all smiles. They've created a fun, kid-friendly dental experience that will put your child at ease. Kids Care Dental accepts most insurance options and has convenient hours, including Saturdays. Kids Care Dental is now offering sensory-friendly hours at select locations. For more info and to book your appointment, go to kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com.
Tonight, it's not sunny here in Sacramento, but hopefully it will be in Phoenix tonight for the Kings. Going in there limping, they've lost 3 straight, taking on a Suns team that they've beaten twice this year. And if they can get the win tonight, they'll have all the tiebreakers and they can virtually, I mean, not mathematically, but virtually knock the Suns out of that chance of having a 10 spot.
Yeah. I mean, this game,
at least from the Kings. I mean, the Mavs could fall or whatever,
right,
but the Kings would, I think, lock themselves into a play-in tonight.
This game means a lot. You know, it's that keep hope alive game if you really want to put a trade.
Exactly. All right, it's time now for our Ginger and Hammer injury report. Remember, if you're ever in an injury, just call Gingery. And right now, our report's questionable. You know, a lot of times we're looking at questionable on the injury report.
We don't know.
No, Sabonis is still the major one, and we still have not heard officially whether he's a go or not. I know Kings Live pregame will have the info on that. G-Man is there, so just stay tuned in the next 15 minutes. So we'll get confirmation, and we, in fact, do have confirmation now, Ramsey. Thanks for looking that out. So Sabonis available. Trey Lyles is out. They were both questionable late here, but Sabonis will play tonight. So big-time news for the Kings.
Good.
Back after missing 6 games.
Yes, because the Kings need his services, no doubt.
They definitely need him in there. It's been a tough slog without him. They were able to manage the first couple of games, but we've seen the last 3 what's been going on here. So.
You know, the Kings have been able to have some productivity with him out of the lineup, but in the overall scheme of things, Scott, they need Sabonis on the floor.
They do.
You know, he is a guy that really stabilizes them defensively, leads on the rebound, and really helps their offense go. It's been a hard slate to have a good flowing offense without Sabonis.
It has indeed. All right, let's break down the Suns a little bit. We've talked about them all season long. Next to the 76ers, maybe the most disappointing team in the league. You might even make the case they are the most disappointing team in the league, 30-36. And, they don't have injury issues like they did last year. Their big three have been playing pretty consistently of late with Durant, Beal, and Booker, and they're still just not getting the job done.
It just didn't work for some reason. On paper, you would have thought that, Bradley Beal, Book, and KD, your big three. And then, you bring in some others to help this team out. But, man, it's really been tough sledding for them, and it just hasn't come together.
It hasn't at all. They even went out and got Tyus Jones, and we thought, okay, they've got a point guard to go along with this three. They're going to be good.
You know what? Tyus Jones really is doing a good job for them. It's their big three that's not getting it done.
Yeah. It's hard to figure. Again, Durant has had a good year. Book's been a little quiet. Beal, he's been the one that just seemingly hasn't meshed.
Beal really hasn't gotten it going since he left Washington.
Yeah.
And granted, he's been hurt. He hasn't really had time to play, but still I thought he would have been better than what he is now. And Bookton kind of fell off.
Yep, for sure. If you'll remember, the win in Phoenix last time was that overtime game where it was DeMar and De'Aaron that scored every point in that overtime and just absolutely took over the game. And at that point, Kings were 6-4. It was 10th game of the year. And we're thinking, okay, this is what the Kings are supposed to look like. They've got the two best clutch players in the league, in Fox and DeMar. And so what a difference 60 or 55 games could make.
A half a season, huh?
Yeah.
No doubt.
So they don't have that, obviously, that combination. But DeMar's still been, obviously top 5-6 in the league in clutch points. So
DeMar is a guy that he's a hooper. He knows how to get his shot. He knows that he can play one-on-one. He knows exactly where he wants to get to on the floor. So, he can get the job done that way.
Yeah, he definitely can do that. All right, in terms of the matchups tonight, Keegan on Durant?
Best possible scenario, yes.
I don't know who else would match up against Durant.
They don't have the size, the length, or the speed. Keegan is probably the best thing that we have going for KD.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what I would assume would be the case here tonight. And, the Suns are playing a traditional center in Mason Plumlee, so that helps. He's not playing a ton of minutes, but that'll help the matchup with JV.
Right. Valanciunas gets a chance to, get back and do what he does.
Yeah, he does. Back-to-back for the Kings. They haven't been real friendly for Sacramento so far this year.
No, not at all. Not at all. But the one thing I will say, though, Scott, is that seeing that they play Plumlee, Phoenix really don't use him.
Mm-hmm.
So that allows JV to do a lot of roaming around.
Yeah.
To where he can help guys get beat outside off the dribble. He could be that guy that rotates over. So, he can really help out on the defensive side.
Yeah. I know you were talking earlier when you were on with the Drive guys just about maybe the offense has even been perhaps a little too simplistic for the Kings. And also one thing we've talked about a lot is let's get some plays run for Levine. The fact that he only had 6 shots last night, do you expect the Kings to try and get the ball to Zach early and often?
Yeah, no doubt. And plus, Zach took some heat for it, too. I expect for Zach to be very aggressive with the basketball because, see, he's a guy that can get his own shot.
Right.
And the way the Kings play in transition, you can get to the basket at will. And Zach has that type of game.
He definitely has that type of game. He was 5 of 6 last night, made all 4 of his 3-pointers. So he was Mr. Efficiency, but you need more than efficiency.
Yeah, you do.
You need volume.
You need volume, and you need aggression out there on the floor.
All right, that's going to do it for game night. Henry, have a great call tonight. Have fun with the GM. Jason, Kings Live pregame coming up next. Thanks for listening to Game Night. Kings and Suns. Keep it tuned here all night long. Kings basketball, Sactown Sports, 1140.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.